Hello, welcome back to my kitchen. The recipe this week is a bit of a blast from the past. We are making a Jello salad. Very popular in the 1960s, not so popular nowadays. That might be because for me, it's gonna be a 3-day process. I feel like if you do it as quick as you can, it's gonna be a 2-day because it requires 2 sets of settings. So you could maybe do it in the morning, let it set, and then do the next part in the evening, let that set, and then enjoy it on the next day. But you can't really cram this into a single day. So buckle up, you're gonna invest some time if you try and make this recipe. That being said, it looks really good. Like the context that this came up in, I was talking with my mom over my birthday weekend, and we were talking about like the horrific Jello salads, something like this, where there's like shrimp suspended in it. I was like, that would be fun to make for the channel. I'm not that. Something delicious. Maybe that later on, but not yet. And so I just did some Googling, just typed in Jello salad recipes, and I found a orange creamsicle Jello salad, and it looked amazing. Like, I'm gonna put the picture hopefully here. If not, I'm just holding up air. But the vanilla ice cream Jello with the orange Jello suspended in there, it's just like, it looks so perfect in that picture that I'm like, I need to try this. Hopefully I succeed at it because, well, it's pretty easy, pretty straightforward. Apart from the mold sticking to the Jello, which beyond me spraying cooking spray on, I don't really have a lot of control over that. So if that works, easy recipe. If that doesn't work, hopefully delicious recipe just with terrible visuals. But you will already know if I succeeded because I probably put that as the thumbnail, a beautiful Jello mold. But I'm in the present, you're in the future, so you have to come along this journey as I find out if I succeed or fail, whereas you already know the results from the thumbnail. But hopefully you enjoy my journey. And the first step of that journey is going to be to run through the ingredients, and then we'll get into cooking. Well, not really cooking, more of mixing. Just kind of dumping stuff together and stirring. You'll see. Gelatin, cold water, boiling water, sugar, orange juice, and vanilla ice cream. The first step of the first day is going to be to mix together the gelatin and the cold water, and then we're going to let that kind of absorb a little bit together, and then we'll add in the boiling water and then stir that all until it's mixed. Now we want to stir in the orange juice and the sugar to the gelatin mix. Stir it all up. Easy. Now, pour the orange Jello into a 9x13, pop that in the fridge overnight, and I'll see you tomorrow. Hello, welcome to day 2. We are going to make the vanilla Jello. The orange Jello has set, it's in the fridge, ready to go for a later step, but vanilla ice cream Jello. That involves very similar steps to the orange Jello. First of which is going to be to mix the cold water with gelatin. You might be feeling deja vu, but that's the first. Well, then also add in the boiling water and then mix it evenly. But that's the first step, very similar to the first step yesterday, only the quantities are different, but I'm not saying the quantities, so it sounds exactly the same. Now is where we diverge. It's still the same, but just the fact that we now add melted vanilla ice cream instead of orange juice. Adding the melted vanilla ice cream and then the sugar to the gelatin mix, stir that all up, and then let that come to room temperature. That is a slight difference, I just remembered that. Let that come to room temperature, and then we're cooking with fire, except for there's no fire needed beyond for boiling the water. Now, while the vanilla ice cream is coming to room temperature, we are going to cut the orange Jello into little squares and then put them in the bundt pan so that we can then pour the vanilla ice cream over later, and it's gonna be beautiful. Now, I didn't say it in the last step, but obviously make sure the bundt pan has been sprayed with cooking spray. This step is going to be to put in the vanilla ice cream Jello, like pour that over the Jello, the orange Jello that we have, a lot of Jello. But to me, it felt like all of the Jello was gonna be at like the top, so I took some out after the last step. So you're gonna see me putting some back in. That is not part of the recipe steps, that's just me trying to outsmart physics. But I don't know, maybe the vanilla ice cream is thick enough that it'll kind of like suspend it, or maybe they'll float. I don't know, but we'll see. I'm just gonna sprinkle those in after I do the pouring, and hopefully it's beautiful and looks just like the picture from the recipe. Also, after this step, refrigerate it overnight. So I'll see you tomorrow. It's day 3, the moment of truth. Time to get that Jello out of the mold. Hopefully it doesn't stick, and then we're gonna serve it and enjoy. All right, here we have it. The final product kind of nailed it. Like, it has that cross section. Like, I'll show you a close up of the cross section that I have, and then maybe I'll put up the cross section from the recipe itself, and then we can see how they stack up to each other. But I won't be doing like an on-camera taste test today because I actually ate a slice with my dad before this because he's still in town. It's actually a good thing that we did that taste test before, because the first bite, which I usually just do one bite when I'm doing the taste test, kind of muted, not a whole lot going on there. It weirdly kind of builds on itself. Like, the more you eat, those flavors kind of like compound over time, and you're like, oh, this is orange, this is vanilla. You kind of get those feelings coming in. But that first one just, I don't know. And also, to kind of continue with that feel, the texture, like, I don't know if it's just me, but Jello, it's solid enough that my brain says you need to chew this. But then when you actually chew it, there's no like force behind it, so your teeth just go straight through, so you're just kind of like, it's a very weird sensation. But beyond that, the flavor, like after it builds up a little bit, is there. I do kind of wish the reverse was done, where it was orange on the outside with the vanilla ice cream on the middle, just because the vanilla, I feel like, was a little bit more muted than the oranges. So I kind of want more of the orange to give you that kind of like flavor up front, and then the vanilla will just kind of play like a companion to that in the background a little bit. Maybe, I mean, my dad actually suggested maybe adding a little bit of like vanilla extract to the ice cream that you're mixing in, just to kind of enhance that vanilla flavor. But overall, I think it's fun. It would be fun to bring to like a barbecue. I mean, you got the Jello jiggle, which is just fun for the whole family, but also just visually, it's quite stunning, and people will definitely be like, what's that? And then you can kind of tell them about it. Overall, I'd say give it a go. It doesn't take a whole lot to make this, so you're not really like wasting anything by giving it a go if it doesn't work or something like that. But it like, just looking at it, it's kind of fun. Like, even though the taste is a little muted, it's just kind of fun. Like, looking, you're like, I made that. I don't know why. I don't know why it brings me joy in that way, but it does. And on that note, bye, Mom. Still not dead. See ya.